Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Wendell and Wild, directed by Henry Selick, written by Henry Selick and Jordan Peele, and I was very excited for this movie for many different reasons, mainly because this is Henry Selick's first feature film since Coraline, which is kind of insane to think that he hasn't directed anything since his masterpiece in terms of the, stop motion animated subgenre of animation, and I think that this is a very, very solid follow-up. Not as good as Coraline, but I do think this is a solid follow-up that has a lot of interesting ideas brought by Jordan Peele. Like I said, this is an interesting duo of writers behind this film and an interesting combination of talent that's all been put together for this film. And the artistry on display in this film is truly incredible, as it always is for any stop motion animated film. So I am going to be getting to spoilers for this movie, so if you have not seen Wendell and Wild, it is on Netflix right now, and I highly recommend it for anybody who is a fan of Henry Selick, who is a fan of Jordan Peele, and is who also not part of a political party that will hate this movie because of reasons of the social commentary, which, I think you'll know once you see this movie. So what is this movie about? Well, essentially it follows the main character, Kat, who is a Hell Maiden. She summons these two demons, Wendell and Wild, played by Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key, who promise her that they can resurrect her parents because in an incident in her past, she feels like she is responsible for their deaths. Essentially, there was this incident in her past when she was a little girl where she was driving in the car with her mom and dad, and she sees this worm in this apple, so she screams, and the car goes off this bridge and goes into the water, and her parents unfortunately drown. And so she feels so much guilt over this incident. She feels like she should be punished because of what she did. So she goes to juvie, she goes through all these different things. She's a very troubled child. So this movie has a lot of great themes about second chances and rehabilitation, because there's this whole subplot about this prison that's about to be made by these political figures that are definitely not supposed to be marrying Trump, because this main character definitely has a toupee that looks a lot like his wig, and it flies off when he's arrested at the end of the movie, which is pretty funny, but that's besides the point. The main character really does go through a great character arc of learning to kind of accept the things that she has done in the past and to be able to move forward and do great things in this world, to be able to be a better member of society, to bring positive energy to the world around her. So I think that this movie has a lot of great messages in terms of this main character, and I think that the voice actress Lyric Ross does a great job at portraying this role, and I will have to praise the entire voice cast of this movie because it is a very diverse cast that is very inclusive. Zelaya is a trans actor playing a trans character in this movie named RAUL, and I really like the dynamic between Kat and RAUL throughout this entire movie, and of course the entire rest of the cast. I think everybody is a person of color, which is really cool to see, and there's a lot of people behind the scenes as well who are also people of color. So again, with the representation in this movie, I think it's very important. I think it's very well done in this film because it's not shoved in your face, it's not anything like that. It feels very natural, and it feels very just welcoming to all these different people and to all their different experiences and to how they are treated in a world at large in terms of that social commentary that Jordan Peele is going to bring to this movie. And I will say, if this movie was only that social commentary, it could be a little bit heavy-handed, and I do think that the argument does exist that this movie does feel a little bit heavy-handed with this social commentary, but I'd honestly kind of disagree with that personally, because I think there's enough around this movie with, the characters, with the story, and with the fun aspects of all these different things that come together in an interesting way, with that commentary kind of building on top of that. I think it is a nice little mix of it, and I don't think it's overwhelming in terms of that social commentary. So in terms of that, I was a fan of that. I did think it brought a nice element, and I did think it brought a nice touch with Jordan Peele, of course, with him writing it. He's going to bring that sort of thing to these movies that he makes, and I think it was a welcome touch to this film. And honestly, I just really love the world building done in this movie. I really like the idea of the Hell Maidens. I really like the idea of these demons and their father, played by Ving, Rhames, just really being obsessed with this, hair cream that can bring people back to life in the main world. It was just a lot of fun, different things mixed together to create a tone that really fits with Halloween. And I think this movie is a very fun Halloween watch to watch with some younger audiences. Not too young. I think this movie could be a little bit too intense, a little bit too creepy for some really young kids. A little bit less so than Coraline was. So I think Coraline is genuinely a really creepy and good introduction horror movie for a bunch of kids, but in terms of like a little, fun horror kind of spooky tone, it kind of feels more in line with Paranorman. And I honestly think that all the different characters in this movie had very satisfying endings. Of course, you have all the different main players like Kat and her parents having a very emotional, kind of touching goodbye at the end of the movie, because she kind of moved on. She believed that she can go on without her parents, and knowing that she can have the second chance, that she can do greater things with her life moving forward, now that she can kind of see her future. And of course, you get great wrap-ups with sister HELLEY and her relationship with Kat, and of course that other character that has been collecting all the demons has set all those demons free, because they're all the different family members of Wendell and Wild and BELZER. And even BELZER, Wendell and Wild get a nice little kind of touching kind of reunion of that family, and they're going to get their amusement park that they wanted to build this entire time. So even Wendell and Wild get a satisfying ending. But the most shocking of all, even, James Hong's character gets a very satisfying ending with him, being the first one to collapse and die because he was brought to life by, this, whipped cream thing. And so even he gets his comeuppance by the end of this movie. Every single character is wrapped up in a way that was satisfying for how they were set up at the beginning of the movie and how they progressed throughout it and got the ending that they deserved, whether it was a good ending or a bad ending for some of the other characters. And of course, this is a stop motion animated movie, so I have to praise the artistry that all happened behind the scenes of this movie, and the character designs and the production design of this movie was all just beautiful. I loved how each character really did have a unique look, a unique style with how they dressed, with how they looked, and how the voice performance really did fit these characters. I also thought the production design was incredible. I think the look of this movie and the cinematography and that stop motion animation, so it has that perfect unperfect feel to it that is just wholly unique to stop motion animated movies. So I think that movie really did nail those aspects of it, and I just loved the journey that this movie brought me on. The social commentary, the story, the unique aspects, that Halloween feel, the spookiness, the characters, the voice performances, and the humor that is brought with all of these different things. One of my favorite jokes in the movie was when Wendell and Wild kill that bug and they find out that the cream can bring something back to life, and they keep on killing this bug, and they look over at this little creature that they have pulling their wagon. They're like, oh, we're gonna kill this thing really fast to see if it works on other creatures. And they pause and they look at each other, and it has this like big eyes, and they really don't want to kill their very, cute creature friend. It just has a very dark sense of humor to it at times that I think just really, really does work with the tone of this movie. And again, this team of director and writing duo with Henry Selick and Jordan Peele, it's just a mixture that I never thought would work as well as it does in this movie. And like I said, the social commentary aspect of it, if you're very right-leaning, you're gonna hate this movie. But for me, I really love the journey this thing brought me on. So what did you guys think of Wendell and Wild? Did you guys enjoy the social commentary? Did you guys enjoy the storyline and the overall journey that this movie brought to you? Is it going to be a Halloween favorite? I think this movie got me really in the mood to watch Coraline again. I haven't seen it in a little while, so I'm very excited to experience that one again. And overall, this movie was just honestly one of my favorites of the year. I really, really, really did enjoy it. I think Jordan Peele is a master at writing. I think he does a lot of great stuff, and I think this is just yet another thing on the list of things that he's done that I just absolutely loved. So thanks everybody for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you guys check out the rest of the movies I have reviewed in my 13 Days of Halloween series. There's a lot of great ones that I want to talk about. And of course, Cabinet of Curiosities has just come to an end on Netflix, so I'm going to try to binge watch all of it today and hopefully have a review out for you guys either tomorrow or the next day. So definitely stay tuned on the channel for that. And also subscribe for more reviews just like these in the future with, the Oscar season is starting up, so I'm going to be reviewing a lot of those movies as well, along with just weekly reviews of all the different new releases that come out from now until the end of the year. And I've talked about a lot of movies. I've been watching a lot of movies, so if you check out my Letterboxd, I have a full just like ranking list of all my favorite movies of the year. I think I've watched 84 new releases this year, which is kind of insane. I'm going to try to hit 100 to have a video out for you guys about that. So thanks everybody for watching this video, and I hope to see you all in my next one.